Racing games had always been at the forefront of technological advancements when it came to video games. Starting on the PS1, pushing the hardware of the PS2, establishing standards left and right on the PS3, fidelity-wise and gameplay-wise. And now, 31 years after the release of the PlayStation 1, they have crept their way into every avenue of our lives. And Payday 2 runs on a racing game engine. If you've watched my The Driving Factor video, you'll already be familiar with the fact that video game engines don't work this way, and that the racing game engine factoid ends up being blatant misinformation that's managed to creep its way into pretty much every corner of this community. If you ended up watching more than a minute of that video, then you'll also be familiar with the fact that I love driving cars in video games. Even Payday 2, but what if I were to combine my enjoyment of driving cars very quickly around racetracks and my enjoyment of shooting cops? What if I were to try and play Payday 2 with a wheel? Two problems. Payday 2 has terrible controller support on PC. Even if you try to, you cannot switch input devices on the fly. If you accept the splash screen with a controller, it's locked in and you can no longer use your mouse and keyboard. If you press enter on the splash and push any buttons on your controller, then it will not do anything. Great start. But before we even get there, the Logitech G920 that I'm using is a direct input device rather than being a generic X input device. In layman's terms, my racing wheel is not an Xbox controller. I know. They're too similar. I wouldn't have been able to figure that out myself at a glance. Anyway, this is where rebinding my wheel inputs to an Xbox controller comes in. I tried a few programs, ended up using X output. It worked, barely. This is step 1 of the way to becoming Drive 2011. Next up, a mod made by Cpone that was never released. A controller switching mod that works good enough for my purposes. I tried setting up my controls in a way where I could run, think, and shoot with the wheel. That wasn't working out though. If you want to try it yourself and have everything on hand, be my guest and show me how much better you are. I'll even give you a shout out in the future if I can. I ended up settling with the fact that I'm going to shoot on mouse and keyboard, and then as soon as I get into the car, I'm going to switch to my racing wheel and do the rest of the heist that way. Until I get out of the car, then I'm going to go back to mouse and keyboard to shoot everyone. Starting with the usual, the first heist to introduce cars. Car shop. I might not be good at stealth, but at this point I had it figured out, somewhat. Even if it's messy and sloppy, it is what you've come to expect. The real fun began once I planted the C4 and could go for the Falcogenie keys. I sat there, awkwardly handling my mouse and keyboard while eagerly anticipating being able to drive the car. And then I finally managed it. I was now driving the car, but with a wheel. And it was bizarre, but it was fun. My settings weren't quite dialed in, so I turned a lot without it doing much. I would rectify that later by turning the wheel radius from 900 degrees to 90 degrees instead. It made the cars more responsive and gave me the ability to be a lot more precise with my wheel inputs. Additionally, the brake pedal did not work at all, and I had to bind braking to the clutch pedal instead, which was absolutely unintuitive, and I totally forgot that I set it that way until I crashed and was forced to sit there for a good few seconds until I remembered.
Now put the car in the container, get out, and we can close this cable.
Once I landed the car in the container, I had to switch back to mouse and keyboard, which was absolutely fucking hilarious. Switching input devices just made it feel a lot more tense than usual. So, what comes after Car Shop? Last time I did Meltdown, but honestly, I was kinda sick of it this time around. I wanted some variety. I have a wheel, I want to drive a car. Biker Heist. Yeah, I wanted to ride the bike with a wheel. It sounded funny as hell. Biker Heist is really one of my least favorite heists though, but I sat through it, awkwardly, still doing it solo. Once I got to the actual bike riding part, I don't know what I really expected. I mean, it's a really short segment of just riding through a tunnel and killing a few scripted blue cop spawns that aren't really meant to be here. But it was fun enough. Not nearly as exhilarating as Car Shop. I had done Lamborghinis, I had done a bike, but there was one more big car for me to tackle with the wheel. Especially since I had finally dialed in the settings correctly. I wanted the last one to be the big one, the one where my driving could shine. So obviously it had to be Goatsum. Let me preface this with one little statement. God, what an awful heist. Goatsum is such a meme of a heist that I personally just hate with every bone in my body. Even back when it first released and basically killed the game for an entire week, I hated it. Playing it now, I guess I had a gimmick to stick through it for. I was feeling the drive, 2011. The first day was already more interesting than it ever was before, with me being able to smoothly get around the city without much hassle, running over cops, dozers, medics, and converts on every corner. It was peak. Genuinely super fucking funny. I will say, with me being focused more on the driving, I did miss a lot of obvious goat spawns that I had memorized over my 8 years of playing this heist. I'd say rookie mistake, but no, not really. I was just too busy running over every single moving thing that I could spawn. Day 1 turned out just about as average as it could ever be, but I did end up getting a little bored, so I opened up the lobby to be public. After all, how am I supposed to be the driver if I have no one to drive for? And ended after way too long, with all the goats stashed, and a Longfellow in the back of the trailer. On to day 2, which starts out with a lot of shooting and goat stashing, before it ever gets to any of the fun parts. Which is to say, the driving parts. Lots of shoot, and finally we get to the car. And for this, I'll just let it speak for itself. While I could do just about the same on a keyboard, it just felt so natural. I was able to essentially carry over my experience playing Richard Burns Rally or EA's WRC into Payday 2. It was kinda surreal, and I'm not sure if any of the dorks in my car really realized that I was using a wheel. But then, all the fun had to come to an end. The bridge was closed and we had to open it. This meant getting off the wheel and back onto my mouse and keyboard, clicking more heads until the timers were done and I could get back into it. In the meantime, one of my teammates got stuck in the car and wasn't able to leave, the usual Payday 2 stuff that you come to know. Timer's up, it's time to go, once again, and I grabbed the wheel and went for it. One last push towards the finish line. And there we were. I had done the big one, the Goatsum heist as the driver. And what can I say? It was a twist on something that I already knew in and out, but it was refreshing enough for me to say that I'd like to try more with it, play around with it some more, and see if I could do some other funny things with it. If you have a wheel lying around and are incredibly bored, then do go ahead and try it for yourself. With this video essentially being over now, I guess I'll use this as an opportunity to say a few things. First of all, wow, I'm at over 300 subscribers now. Thank you. I'd like to stream some more, and I'll probably try streaming on Twitch as well, which is why I'm going to do the following. Payday content and Payday related streams will happen on my YouTube channel. This makes it easier for those who only care about Payday to have everything in one place. But for other streams, which I'll still announce in YouTube posts, I'll be doing them on Twitch. This could be a plethora of things, such as me streaming some of my sim racing shenanigans, my PS2 gem collection, or even just trying to start and finish games I've been meaning to get to for ages. If you're interested in that, then please let me know by following my Twitch channel. Link in the description. If you're interested in more Payday content or just want to see more of me, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if possible, then please do leave a like on this video as well. It'll greatly motivate me to do more, and it'd be pretty cool, and swag, and awesome, and sugoi. Anyway, yeah, that's it for me. A little more casual, which I hope you enjoyed. And as usual, take care.